Welcome back to Adrian's Avenue. And on this channel, we talk about real money, real life, and building real wealth. Thank you for coming in today. Today, I like to study wealthy people. I like to read about them. I like to watch them. I like to talk to them. And so I have a few, nothing really is a secret, but I have a few tips to share about what wealthy people think about and how they act, how they move differently than just normal people. And so that's what we're going to get into today. So stay tuned for this one. First up, I'd like to say what I've discovered about wealthy people is that they think in terms of years instead of just days. They think in terms of decades sometimes instead of just days. The average person probably thinks about, what am I going to do today? What can I get out of the day? This thing about the day. And the wealthy folks, they think about what decisions I'm making today, how will it affect me years in the future? And this will help with their daily decisions. The decisions that they're making today will have an impact tomorrow, as well as next year, as well as maybe a decade from now. So they think in long term. They plant seeds in the now and looking for a harvest in the long term, not just what can I buy today or how will I manage my week this week. They think, how will I manage my money over the years, over the decades to eventually pass it on to an inheritance to their children's children. But they think long term, not just what can I buy today or what can I do today, but they think long term. The one thing about thinking long term is that compounding is on your side. Time is on your side when you think long term. So they think of strategies. How can I make my money grow so it can produce more money, and in the future I can gain and it can compound and I will see the results of the seed that I planted many, many years ago. So this is a good thing in thinking long term about your money. One other thing that long-term thinking does for you, it puts away the emotions and the thinking in the moment. Basically, it gives you systems, how things will turn out in the future. And it's not based on emotions. It's based on systems. It's based on solid thinking, solid decisions made, and so that it can produce a future for you, so it can produce a harvest for you. What if Ladies' Night wasn't just fun, but it left you feeling financially empowered? Introducing my financial therapy card deck, a simple, engaging way to spark real conversation about money, mindset, and your financial future. Perfect for girls' night in, social clubs, retreats, and women's events. Wherever women gather, meaningful conversations follow. So gather your girlfriends and discover what money conversations can really do for your future. Empower your money, empower your life. I have the questions you need to answer. Order your deck today and make your next ladies' night unforgettable. Now they look at her like, and they all want to know why she just keeps winning. Secondly, speaking of strategies, the wealthy have strategies. They think in terms of strategic placement of assets, strategic placement of their money that will produce more in the future. So when the market takes a dip or the market goes up, they're not moved by emotions or fears or greed. They are driven by data. What does the data say? What has it done in the past? What does this company say? Is it still a solid company? And they make their decisions based on that information, not on just emotions, because the stock market, you guys, based on emotions. It's based on if it's fearful or if people are greedy. And so it goes up and down by just words coming out of the White House, things that people say, threats that has nothing to do with that company's, how solid that company is, how good the company is, or anything like that. The company is still the company, but because someone has said something and now everybody's fearful, they want to go sell their stock, right? But the wealthy will take advantage of these situations. If the stock goes down and we know that it is a solid stock, why not go in and buy more? That makes sense. That's the strategy out there that helps the wealthy stay wealthy. In this strategy, the wealthy will also use mentors, coaches, advisors to make their decisions. Not what's being shown on the gossip channels, not what's being shown on Facebook or Instagram, anything like that, because it may be somebody's opinion and not actually what's happening. But get a solid counsel that you can discuss with, that you believe in, that you trust, and that thinks kind of like you think, and listen to those. Gather around, listen to your advisors, your mentors, and your coaches, and make decisions based on that. Now, in these strategies, sometimes there are losses, sometimes there are mistakes, but the wealthy will think of these losses or mistakes as lessons. And so sometimes they're setbacks, but that is a lesson learned, and moving forward from the what did you learn from that lesson? Something that you won't repeat in the future, hopefully. But they take these, no one is exempt from something going not as you have planned for it to go. But there is a lesson in everything that you do, the good and the bad. So if there are setbacks some kind of way, take the lesson that you've learned, because you don't want to have to go through that again just to learn that same lesson that you could have learned the first time. One thing I am 100% certain that the wealthy do is that if they have not subscribed, they hit that subscribe button. If they have subscribed, they hit the like button. And all of them hit the share button to share this information out. I want you to stay abreast as to all the information as it's coming available to you. Don't want you to miss anything. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this out to someone that you know and love. Sharing is caring. This one here is golden. Wealthy people have non-negotiables. There are things that you cannot move them from what they believe in, what they're doing on a daily basis. One thing is that they wake up normally earlier than most people, maybe 30 minutes to an hour early. But what do they do at this time? They get clarity. When they wake up, they want their minds and their bodies to be clear to handle the rest of the day. Why not get clarity? It may be reading scriptures, it may be meditating, it may be reviewing some things, so you can be clear as to what you're going to do during this day, each and every day. They wake up with clarity instead of chaos. Some of you all wake up with chaos. You don't know what's going on, hit the alarm clock several times, fly out of bed, trying to find your clothes, you brush your teeth, take a shower, whatever it is you're doing. You just don't have your day planned out. When you start out that way, it's hard to turn that around and make it a better day. You could possibly do that, but why even fight that? Start the day with clarity. Give yourself a little extra time. Get up, do the things you have to do. Make them non-negotiable. My routine, my morning routine is non-negotiable. I do it every day, whether it's Monday or whether it's Saturday or Sunday. I have the same routine. There's certain things I need to do because I need to prepare for whatever's going to come to me that day. I don't know what it's going to be, but if I'm clear on certain things, I'm not going to be moved. It's not going to be a negotiable for me on certain things. So let's be clear on certain things and make sure that you have non-negotiables in place, whatever they are. There should be some standards in your life that you're not going to move from. I don't care who comes at you, who comes to you, what offers they make. There's just certain things you're just not going to do. You should have those non-negotiables. If you don't have non-negotiables, it's like having a town that's not surrounded with walls, because anything can happen. Anybody can come in to sway you one way, right or left, and you will go in that direction because you don't have any solid boundaries or non-negotiables. So that's one lesson we can take from the wealthy, is to have non-negotiables. Let me just stick this in as a non-negotiable. Along with getting your mind clear for the morning, for the day, I do something on a daily basis for my body. I usually go and work out 5 times a week. Every morning I'll go to the gym, get my workout, start on the treadmill, get my workout in, and do some weightlifting, do some things like that just to keep my body and my mind in shape. It relaxes me. I love to do it. I won't call myself a gym rat, but I love to be in the gym doing that. And I started out in the day, early in the morning, because once it's done, and I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. So that's my gift to myself, is going to work out. Do something healthy. Eat breakfast, eat a great breakfast, drink water. Do something healthy for yourself and you'll feel much better. You'll think much clearer and you will make and meet those goals of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year. Wealthy people, and you guys, this just makes all the sense in the world, but they protect their energy and their environment. You rarely find them around people that are negative, people that are lazy, people that are disagreeable. They just don't keep people like that in their space. They may meet them, but they're not going to be in their space for a long time because this can rub off on them. This can bring them down in a wrong direction. Now, they're realists, but they're positive realists. There's two sides to every coin, so everything is not negative. Negative Nancy, always talking negative, always has something negative to say. That's not who you want to hang around. That's bad energy. You don't need to waste your time and energy on that type of person. You have things to do. You got money to make. You got people to help. You have positive things to, do in your life and do for other folks. And that does not include people around you being negative. So you will rarely find wealthy people just hanging out with people that don't want to do anything, have no ambition in life, just want to be negative. That's not in their space, and that's not how they want to spend their time. Time is precious, and how you spend it matters. If you're around people that are negative all the time, you're going to be defending negativity and that type of thing. If you're around people that are positive, that are forward thinking, guess what? You're going to be looking for abundance to come in your life because that's what the conversation is about. Conversation is very important. What we feed into our brain, that's what we're feasting off of. And when it's something negative, that will make us negative. Negativity will start to come out in us if all we're listening to is the bad news and hanging around negative people. So be aware, be careful about that, and don't let people give their bad energy over to you, and protect your environment. Just a small tip on what they talk about when they do hang out. They don't talk about celebrity gossip or anything like that. They talk about investments. They talk about ideas. They talk about opportunities. And with these three things, what they want to focus on, abundance will come. Because if I'm talking about investments, if I'm talking about opportunities, that's what I want in my life. I can care less about whoever's out there, celebrity, whatever news that they're making. That's all fine, well, and good, but that's not profiting me any at all, So, but this is what they talk about. So let's feast on some of these things that they're feasting on. Another thing that the wealthy are known for is that they act and not overthink. Sometimes you can think about something for so long until you don't act upon it. They take action. They don't worry about this, worry about that. They get the information as much as that they need to make that decision, and then they make that decision and take action. You could sit around and talk and discuss and plan and do this and do that and miss the opportunity, miss the opportunity to gain on whatever that opportunity is. So they don't do that. They get the information they need and take action right away. So don't overthink things. You can think on things for so long until it starts not making sense to you or anybody else at some point in time. Don't overthink. Get the information you need to make a solid decision. Get all the information you need to make a solid decision, or at least enough to make that solid decision. Make that decision and act up on it. Just think of the people who missed out on some of the investments in the stock market when it dips. They think about it. Should I do this? Should I take the money for? And the next thing you know, the stock has risen in value and they've missed that opportunity. Don't miss the opportunity by overthinking. Now, I will finally leave you with a few more tips that are ultra important. I'm glad you stuck with me this long. But the wealthy not only work hard, they do work hard, but they work smarter, and they work smarter on the things that matter. It's not about just being actively busy. It's about being productive. What really matters is what they focus on. They don't focus on a bunch of stuff. They focus on what really matters. So they are hard workers, but they are smart workers on those things that really matter. Since discipline isn't optional for the wealthy, it's built in. Normally, they automate a lot of stuff. If it's investing that they know that they want to invest every month or every week, every day, whatever it is, they just put it on automation and let it go. That way, they won't have to worry about thinking about it, worry about writing a check, worry about moving money over to one place or another. It's automatic, and this is discipline. Discipline is a non-negotiable for them. So we want to make sure we're disciplined in most of the things that we're doing, if not all the things that we're doing. Discipline is very high on their ladder in general. Another thing that the wealthy do, they focus on asset acquisition, not on just buying things for appearance sake. They focus on, such as, you can buy a car for appearance sake. However, you can go out and buy a rental property for asset acquisition that's going to bring you money in. A car will take money out of your pocket. You know, even if it's paid off, you're going to have to put gas in it. You have to do maintenance for it. It's taking money out of your pocket. And it may be for appearances. Now, not all the time, but it may be for appearances. But the wealthy buy acquisitions, things that's going to bring them money, and it's actually an asset. So think about that. And the last tip I'll give you is that the wealthy are thinkers. And when they think, they evaluate their thoughts. Is this a wealthy thought or is this a poor thought? So that's one thing that we want to keep in mind also, is to think about things. Don't think on things too long, but think on the things that are important and make those decisions, and ask the question. If it's something critical that you need to make a decision on, or a thought comes into your mind, or someone says something, ask yourself, is this a wealthy thought or is this a poor thought? How is it going to lead you in one direction or the other? And so with that, hopefully you've gotten something from this video, and I've given you great tips on how the wealthy think, how they move, how they act, just how they process things. We can learn a lot from the wealthy, and we can build wealth from what we learn from them. And with that, I will see you in the next video.